Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into some of the most fascinating and strange facts about natural disasters that have changed the course of history, from volcanic eruptions that plunged the world into darkness, to earthquakes that reshaped cities and tsunamis that redefined our understanding of nature's power. We'll uncover the science behind these events and their profound impact on humanity. Join me as we journey across time and continents to explore these pivotal moments, revealing the delicate balance between civilization and the awesome forces of the natural world. Stay tuned! Our story takes us back to 1816, a year etched in history as the year without a summer. This was not just any ordinary year, it was a time when the world experienced a dramatic shift in climate. The culprit, a volcanic eruption of unimaginable scale on the Indonesian island of Sumbawa. This catastrophic event was none other than the eruption of Mount Tambora. Mount Tambora roared to life in April 1815, unleashing the largest eruption ever recorded. The explosion was so powerful that it ejected an enormous amount of volcanic material into the atmosphere. Billions of tons of ash and volcanic debris veiled the sun, plunging the northern hemisphere into an unseasonal chill. The skies darkened and temperatures plummeted, creating a year without a true summer. Crops withered, leading to widespread famine and hardship. Farmers watched helplessly as their fields turned barren, unable to produce the food needed to sustain their communities. Food shortages sparked riots and unrest. People, desperate for sustenance, took to the streets, demanding relief from the government and local authorities. This was the reality for millions in the wake of Tambora's fury. The eruption's impact was felt far and wide, affecting not just the immediate vicinity but the entire globe. The unusual atmospheric effects sparked the first investigations into the link between volcanic activity and global climate. Scientists were intrigued by the sudden and dramatic changes in weather patterns. Scientists began to unravel how volcanoes could influence weather patterns on a global scale. They studied the ash and gases released by the eruption, seeking to understand their long-term effects on the atmosphere. The eruption marked a turning point in our understanding of the Earth's climate system. It highlighted the profound impact that natural events can have on our planet, shaping the way we study and respond to climate phenomena today. Our journey takes us to Lisbon, Portugal, on All Saints' Day, 1755. The city was alive with festivities. People filled the streets and churches were packed with worshippers. A day of celebration soon descended into chaos. The ground began to shake violently and the joyous atmosphere turned into one of sheer terror. Beneath the city, tension had been building for centuries. The tectonic plates, locked in a slow, relentless dance, finally gave way. Suddenly, with a deafening roar, the tension broke. The earth convulsed and the city was caught in the grip of a massive earthquake. The earthquake, estimated between 8.5 and 9 on the Richter scale, ripped through Lisbon. The ground heaved and buildings were torn apart. Buildings crumbled, fires raged, and the sea receded dramatically. The once bustling city was now a scene of utter devastation. Minutes later, colossal waves slammed into the harbor, engulfing the city. The tsunami added to the destruction, sweeping away everything in its path. The earthquake claimed tens of thousands of lives and reduced Lisbon to rubble. The scale of the disaster was unimaginable. From the ruins arose a new spirit of scientific inquiry. Scholars and thinkers began to question the causes of such natural calamities. It challenged the belief that natural disasters were purely acts of God, prompting a search for rational explanations. This event marked a turning point in the way humanity understood and responded to the forces of nature. Our exploration takes us to the American Midwest in the 1930s. The Dust Bowl was a period of severe dust storms that ravaged the prairies for nearly a decade. Intensive farming practices and a prolonged drought left the topsoil dry and vulnerable. Winds lifted millions of tons of topsoil, creating massive dust storms that blotted out the sun. The Dust Bowl triggered one of the largest migrations in American history. This ecological disaster led to significant changes in farming practices and soil conservation techniques. On December 26, 2004, a massive earthquake off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia, unleashed a chain of events that changed millions of lives. The earthquake, one of the most powerful ever recorded, generated monstrous waves. These tsunami waves crashed into the coastlines of 14 countries, leaving devastation in their wake. Coastal communities were caught in the path of the tsunami, their homes and livelihoods reduced to rubble. The disaster highlighted the interconnectedness of our world and the importance of early warning systems. The world came together to rebuild communities and strengthen resilience in the face of nature's power. Our exploration takes us to London in 1666, a year that would be etched in history forever. It all began with a smouldering ember in a baker's shop on Pudding Lane. This tiny spark ignited a fire that would soon consume the entire city. Fanned by a strong wind, the fire spread rapidly through the densely packed wooden buildings. The narrow streets and closely built houses acted as kindling, fueling the inferno. For 3 relentless days, the Great Fire raged out of control, defying all attempts to extinguish it. The city's firefighting methods were primitive, and the fire quickly overwhelmed them. The flames devoured everything in their path: homes, shops, churches, and even the mighty Guildhall, a symbol of London's governance and power. The firestorm was so intense that it created its own weather system, with a towering column of smoke and ash that could be seen for miles. The heat was so ferocious that it melted metal objects and cracked stone walls, leaving a landscape of twisted ruins and charred remains. When the fire finally burned out, over 70,000 people were left homeless, wandering the streets in search of shelter and food. The city was a smouldering ruin. The Great Fire forever altered London's landscape and destiny. It led to the creation of new building regulations and the reconstruction of the city, shaping the London we know today. On April 18, 1906, San Francisco was shaken by a natural disaster that changed its landscape and spirit. An earthquake, estimated at a magnitude of 7.9, ripped through the San Andreas Fault. The ground lurched and buckled, collapsing buildings and snapping gas and water mains. Fires raged through the city, feeding on the debris of shattered buildings. The disaster revealed both the resilience of the human spirit and the shortcomings of urban planning. The city rose from the ashes as a modern metropolis shaped by the lessons learned. The 1906 earthquake serves as a reminder of the power of nature and the importance of preparedness. Our journey takes us to Soviet Ukraine in 1986, to a disaster born of human error. On April 26th, a catastrophic power surge ripped through reactor number 4 at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant. The explosion released a plume of radioactive material into the atmosphere. Firefighters and emergency workers, unaware of the danger, rushed to contain the blaze. The fallout spread silently, contaminating soil, water, and the food chain. Chernobyl marked a turning point in the world's relationship with nuclear power, raising questions about reactor safety and emergency preparedness. On March 11, 2011, a magnitude 9.0 earthquake struck off the coast of Japan, unleashing colossal tsunami waves. The tsunami waves surged inland, engulfing entire coastal communities. Homes, businesses, and infrastructure were reduced to rubble. The disaster revealed the raw power of nature and the vulnerability of even the most advanced nations. The world witnessed an outpouring of support and aid for Japan. The Tohoku disaster highlighted the importance of disaster preparedness and early warning systems. It left an enduring mark on Japan and the world, shaping policies and perspectives on disaster risk reduction. Our journey takes us to the Dutch East Indies in 1883, to the volcanic island of Krakatoa. For months, Krakatoa had been rumbling, sending up plumes of ash and steam. On August 27th, Krakatoa erupted with explosions heard thousands of miles away. The eruption generated tsunamis that devastated coastal communities across the Sunda Strait. The atmospheric effects of Krakatoa were profound, creating a volcanic winter that lowered global temperatures. The sun was dimmed by a veil of volcanic dust, and sunsets blazed with vibrant hues. The eruption captivated the world, sparking scientific curiosity and igniting imaginations. On January 12, 2010, a devastating earthquake struck Haiti, its epicenter near Port-au-Prince. The earthquake reduced buildings to rubble and left the nation reeling. The disaster exposed the vulnerabilities of a nation grappling with poverty and political instability. The international community responded with an outpouring of aid and support. The road to recovery was long and arduous, hampered by the scale of the devastation. The Haiti earthquake highlighted the importance of disaster preparedness and building resilience. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed learning about these strange and impactful natural disasters, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more fascinating content. From volcanic eruptions to earthquakes, tsunamis, and man-made catastrophes, the events we've explored today remind us of the awesome power of the natural world and the importance of understanding and respecting the delicate balance of our planet. See you next time.